Well, we certainly hope so. A lot of us are here trying to work between the spaces of the concessional funding and commercial funding and to try to bring commercial viability to smallholder agriculture and forestry. So yeah, I very much hope so.
I mean, you're based in San Francisco, which is a big city in I was going to say a county, but it's like the eighth biggest economy in the world, which has been suffering a horrendous drought recently. I mean, how much of those impacts brought home to you the kind of challenges that we may face in the future?
Well, the drought in California has certainly been bad for both those of us who run out of water and wells, and there's been mandatory cuts in agriculture. I think it's just one indication of how important it is to do what we're doing and how little has been done in the U.S.
And in terms of the capital flows of investment, how would you assess that at the moment? We hear these reports the whole time from the World Bank and the IMF, and they run to billions or trillions needed in the next couple of decades. What's flowing from your perspective?
Well, we're starting to see private sector money flow into the sector that we work in, which is smallholder ag and forestry. But it's been very, very slow. Certainly the lack of demand on the credit side of things has made it more difficult. But we're starting to see small amounts of money coming in. So hopefully with a more positive outlook in Paris, we'll be able to actually have more investment dollars flow. And
what countries, what continents do you focus on in terms of smallholder agriculture?
Well, our fund, the Terra Bella Fund, is focused, it's a global focus, so it has projects that it will invest in Asia, in Latin America, and in Africa. So it's covering the globe, really trying to find those projects that are seeking investment that can meet the requirements of commercial viability.
Okay, give me a sense about what does one of these projects look like? Are we talking about a couple of acres or 10 hectares of land, and what kind of transformation are you looking for?
Well, projects are certainly for commercial viability much, much larger than that. And generally we look for projects that have multiple revenue streams. So they would have streams like coffee, cocoa, shea, acai, moringa, natural rubber, crops that are grown in and around forests and generally by small holders. And so you could see a project, for example, in Colombia that has cocoa growing around forests, and by helping the producers be more profitable, we're able to reduce the deforestation in those areas.
And in terms of ensuring there are adequate safeguards, are you confident that those human rights and environmental safeguards are being carried out across the world? Because there are lots of people saying that in some cases communities are having their land grabbed. I think there's a big issue with the EU and biofuels. Are you confident that the environmental safeguards are sound?
Well, in the investments that we make, we have third-party standards for both the greenhouse gas emissions as well as the biodiversity and the social aspects of things. So for sure, with everything that we do, that's the case. And we really are working with smallholders that have legal tenure that can be recognized under existing systems, and then we improve the governance for them and then give them the benefit of support for the financial and operational management that they need to actually produce long-term sustainable financing streams.